Hello YouTube, we're warming up our little work area here. It's chilly, but we're getting there. There's not much wind today, and it's only going to be about 40 degrees if it ever gets there. Another quick measurement on this. This is about 2 3/4 inches long by 2 5/8 wide. As far as height, here we're going to do it with the old finger method. Get out our calipers. About 1.5 inches tall. We do want to paint it. We do not like that color. We're going to find out why them threads bind up. We're going to remove the jaws. I like having my old screwdrivers out here. I don't have to go to my drawer. I got a brand new set of Husky screwdrivers. I mean, they look brand new. But I like having the old ones I redo because I can keep them in here in this area. And this is a real cheap. This is made in the USA, but it's super cheapy. It had the sticker on. I found a Habitat for Humanity store for like $1. This is that stinky thing that was rotting away I did that time. When they smell real bad. We're just going to use this as a cleaning fluid. It's better than having gasoline in here. So let's get to work. Let's get it apart. We'll show you what it looks like when it's all gutted. Oh, we're going to try to mount it to this. I do not remember what this is off of. I know it's off the nanolith. I do not know what the purpose of this part was. I cannot tell you, but I've never used it. That poor casting. But the holes don't line up. We'll see what we can do. Look at that. That's a casting hole. We won't talk about that cheap thing. I got plenty of videos on it. If you want to know what a nanolith is, I have a whole playlist on that thing. There's a long story behind that, which we will not go into. Okay, make these clips quick. Clips quick. Clip clips. This stuff eats paint. See what we're using it for? We're going to use it to get the paint off. I just soaked that. Let's do a little scraping. Hey, let's do it fast. Why sand it? Don't you just love a challenge? See how that roll pin went in there? It's like driving it in a blind hole. Because, look. And I'm lucky I took my favorite bead-on screwdriver. And I had that thing down there, just a little bit of a gap. Yes, it's still magnetized. Hold on. And I got that down in there like this and I pounded on it. And I got that pin to move that much. So it came out of the hole. I think we're going to take our Dremel tool, we're going to put a groove in here. Because there's a jaw that sets here, you know, the Vise jaw. You'll see it later. So it doesn't matter. Not like driving a roll pin in a blind hole, huh? Don't do that when you machine stuff. This was made by a company. There's my rant for the day. Now I love a challenge. What you watch, I'll get this. I'll Dremel this out right here. Like I said, this has a jaw in here that covers that. See? We just won't tell anybody. I don't know if these are reversal. No, they only go one way. We just won't tell nobody, alright? Okay, back to work. Let's get this done. Because it's too hard to scrape the paint around here. And I want to see about this wobble in this screw, whether I can change that or not. Okay, let's talk. More work. Okay, that'll work. See how we're driving the pin out? And you'll never see it when the jaw's on there. So let's get this roll pin out of here so we can work on this screw. I don't know if we'll ever be able to get all the play out of it, but and we're just using whatever we find, like one of these or something. Excuse me, I have roll pin punches, but whatever's laying here to get this pin out. Remember, don't grab on that vice grips and chew that all up and then it ain't going to go in there. See how that's split? That's under tension. You make them with their metal wrapped around. See that? It's a split roll pin. So it's expanded. As you pound it in, it's beveled. And don't be afraid to bevel a little bit more to help you get it started. See that? Bevel a little more when you put it back together. Just a quick tip for you. Okay, we wasted a minute on that. Well, We sanded this with our sanding drum. You would not believe the scratches you can put with a razor blade, and they will go deep. See where I sanded in one direction only? This is about what this thing looked like on the left. In the bottom, I just took one of my abrasive wheels. So you can see what it looks like. This is why we sanded it. Oh, we found out why it closes and opens so tight. These pins right here. I very carefully set it up and tapped them in so they came in, because I'd studied it, what it looked like. And I think I'm right. And they catch. Did you hear that snap? That's part of the hard spot when it opens and closes. We can live with it. Okay, what should I do? Gun blowing is not going to look very good on here. If I paint this, all I got is model car paint. And I'm going to have to primer it first, of course. And I have flat gray, same as primer. I think we're going to paint it. We're not that picky. We can't put gun blowing on it. That's not going to look good. Trust me, it'll look icky. So, I guess we're going to paint it. Here comes the surprise. What color is it going to be? That paint on there was the nastiest stuff I've ever seen. And it had primer. It was not a, what do they call that bake-on stuff? Powder coat. No, it could have been, but it was gray, then it was that. And I took that, and I scraped, and I scraped. That stuff was nasty. It was a nasty type of paint, I'll tell you what, it really was. That's how it mounts to the base. I might as well show you. Every screw on this is the same. That's it, but they just don't line up with this. I have a piece of metal plate. You would be using these two holes, and it just does not line up. I can't do this one-handed. You're not going to see the light through there. Trust me, it does not line up. And I do not know what part of the machine that was off, because I never used it. That had a milling attachment thing where you slid something, and that was all junk. It bound up in there, the thing you turned, and the drill press thing was really chintzy. But somehow that ended up in my drill press cabinet. Really big drill press. Enough talk. I guess we're going to paint it. This turned into a long video just because of the talking, but we'll be back. I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to paint it dry, gray primer, let it dry really good. First we have to clean this. We got to hunt for some alcohol acetone or something. So, even though we did whatever, we don't know what residue's left on here. So we'll be back when we're done. It'll look okay. It'd be good enough. It's just a drill press vise. Okay. Excuse me. Take two. Okay, we're calling this project done. And yes, I stole that from a YouTuber. You all know who he is. I bet you do if you said to me. This has T-nuts in here, if you don't know what they are. Had to drill holes bigger because the screws had to come this way. It's kind of hard to see, but I'm not taking it apart. The screws kind of set at an angle. You know what? See, T-nuts, see how they slide in there? Gives a little bit more heavy base. Let's screw it all the way together so you can show how it just closes just right. We'll be right back. Okay, that barely, and I had to do that 3 times. I had to mark it, measure it, slide in a little bit. It makes it a little bit heavier, a little bit more manageable when you're hanging on to something, because I'm going to be drilling at real slow speeds. Paint job, we're not going to brag about it. We primered it. We took some, it was probably aluminum paint at one time, silver gray, and we put black in it. We put some more in it. We wanted like some metal, and it's nasty. The first coat started lifting off the primer, so we let it dry. The second coat, it was all mixing in, so like the top's got like 3 coats. I'll show you how nasty it is when you're really looking at it. See how gobby it is, see that? But it's a tool. And it looks good, that color. You know, it's metal colored. I didn't want nothing shiny gaudy, so I'm sure you'll agree. Cleaned up the jaws, didn't polish them or nothing. It still sticks because of those pins. We did run a drill bit through the holes, see if there's any junk in there. Which is close at was 5/16, so I was using the side of the bit to scrape anything out. It's just the way it's machined. These pins are, I'm not going to pound on it, these pins do not match the hole. So it gets a little snug, but I guess that's better than having a Vise sloppy. Okay, we'll pause here, we'll take a picture this way, then we'll open it back up again. Okay, what did I say? This is about a 1 1/4 inch jaw. I can't remember. Too many measurements here. How wide is this jaw? Oh no, it's 1.5 inches. You can only open up 1 1/4 inch, and that's only leaving you about a 1/2 inch threads in there. So you're pushing it over 1 inch. Into the core, you better stop. What would be nice is some of the stuff if there was something I could lay in here, you know, when you do stuff to catch the drill shavings where it don't get on the screw. The big Vises I know I see even had like a bellows on it. Of course, you don't want to be trying to scrunch up a piece of shrink tubing or, you know, just keep it clean. That's all I can tell you. Just keep it clean. But I suppose if you were doing production, say I do 100 things and drill 100 little holes, I'd definitely be putting a rag over those. I ain't gonna get that much mess in it, but see, that kind of helps offset it because it's a lot heavier now. I cannot tell you the total weight, but can you see where that's better than just that little Vise sitting there? I mean, when you get something wider, you got a little more, and you can hang on to it a little better. So I suppose you could either hang on to it down here, which no, I'd be doing it right here. It makes a better background in that dark dusk. Thanks for watching. We revived this. We found this piece. We didn't even know we even had it. We were looking for a big piece of steel. We had was like 3 by 5 inches. It was 3/8 thick steel we was going to mount this on, so it was really heavy. But I think I'm going to like this better. And I'll never have to move it for any reason. It closes up without hitting this, so there you go. Like I said, we're out here. We had enough of this project. It's the second day. This is the next day. We let the paint dry overnight, just so you know.